This year has been the hardest and the most painful year of my life.
Every man has a fear of a strong-minded woman, but I say she's a keeper if she got it on her own and keeps it running. If she can keep it all running.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Sajane Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, and also hit that bell button. Turn on your post notifications so that you are notified every time I upload a video. So I'm sure, as you all have noticed in the title and also with my content in general, you guys have noticed that I haven't been really consistent. This video is going to be me talking to you guys about some things and sharing some things and opening up, explaining the real reason why I haven't really been consistent, and just, finding myself again and taking my life back, because I honestly feel like I lost myself a lot within the past few years. I don't really remember who I am or what I really want. I really lost sight of the things that I enjoy doing, the things that make me happy, the things that make me me. I don't know, I really just feel like I lost myself, and I've been battling like pretty bad anxiety. Like, I worry about things that I shouldn't be worried about. I'm pretty sure I've been struggling with depression, but as a mother, you don't really have time to be sad. You don't have time to sit around and boohoo and cry all day and throw a pity party. Like, you have to get yourself together and be there for your child and be strong. But like, I can't be strong all the time, and it's okay not to be strong. But when you have a child, you just have to do what you have to do to make sure that your baby is good. And before my happiness, before my peace, before my feelings, before anything, my child and his health and his happiness comes first. So, mommy has to be on her grind. She has to be on it to make sure that he's good. And sometimes that can take a toll on your mental health as well, because it's like, you're not happy, you're not okay, and you're putting this other little being before your wants and needs. You know what I mean? But I love my son to death. I wouldn't trade him for the world. But one of the hardest things ever to do is to have to be a mother with a broken heart. It's one thing when you're sad and you're down and your heart is broken and you don't have a kid. Like, you can kind of sit around, you can be sad, you can have time to dwell and grieve and mope around. But when you have a whole responsibility, you just don't have time to do that. Sometimes you don't have time to be sad. You don't have time to feel, period. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not an emotional person. It's actually pretty freaking unhealthy. I'm the type of person where something will be bothering me and I'll just hide it. I'll cover it. I'll put a smile on my face. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Life's great. Like, it's really unhealthy to just keep things bottled in and to allow things to pile up until there's no more room to stack anything else on top. I'm the type of person where I'll let one little thing bother me and I'll bottle it in, and then something else will bother me and I'll throw that in the bottle, and then something else will bother me and I'll throw that in the bottle, and all of a sudden the bottle is full, and then it gets shaken up and it explodes. Like, one little thing will piss me off or hurt my feelings and it sends me over the edge, and that's not healthy. I've noticed that that's not healthy. I understand that that's not healthy. But that being said, I feel like it's good to talk about the things that are bothering me, the things that hurt me, so that I can heal from it and move on and be okay. And with this platform, it's easy to do so, but I just feel like I need to be open and honest with y'all, because people have been on my ass. Like, Sage, why are you not posting YouTube videos? Sage, why are you not writing music? Sage, why are you not in the studio? Sage, why don't you sing anymore? Why aren't you taking your rapping more seriously? Why don't you act anymore? Why don't you dance? Why don't you play the piano anymore? Like, you have all these amazing talents that you're so good at, and you're not using any of it. Why? My mom told me a couple days ago, she said, if you're more consistent, who knows where you could be right now? Like, you're so gifted, you're so talented, and I feel like you're wasting your talent, and I don't understand why. Well, I'm about to explain to y'all why in this video. So, I'm chilling tonight, so I have my Ciroc. If you guys see me like pick up 2 cups, I don't like to mix. I don't know why, that's just me, so I chase. There's juice, it's alcohol, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna get into it. All right, so I feel like 2020 has been a rough year for anybody, but for me personally, I feel like this has honestly been the worst year of my life. Like, all the 25 years of my life, I just turned 25 October 20th, 2020, and it's just been rough. I'm gonna give you guys a timeline. So back in February, actually on Valentine's Day, I found out that my grandfather passed away suddenly. He passed away alone. There was no one in the house. My dad called me on Valentine's Day and he said, you know, your grandfather passed away. And I was just like, what? And then the crazy thing is, like, I don't know if this is TMI for some of y'all, or if y'all are not in healthcare and you wouldn't understand, but when he passed away, they embalmed his body. Now, if y'all know anything about embalming, once a body gets embalmed, you can't do an autopsy, you can't do any medical research to find out what happened. So it was basically like a mystery, like, how did he die? I also don't know if you guys believe in, like, you know, God, or if you're spiritual, or if you believe that the people that have passed away can talk to you through your dreams and stuff like that when they're gone. But it was just like a big mystery, and I don't like being left in the dark. I don't like mysteries. I don't like sitting around wondering what happened. So I wanted to know, like, how did he die? Now I will never know, because his body got embalmed before we were able to get an autopsy done or anything like that. So I was asleep one night and I had a dream, and in the dream we were at my grandfather's funeral. Like, I heard a voice, and I looked over and he was sitting beside me, like he was at his own funeral, like it was his spirit at his funeral. And I was just like, what in the world? Like, this is crazy. I tapped my dad, and just like my dad in real life, he was like, shh. And I was like, Dad, no, look, I gotta tell you something. And he was like, stop acting funny, act right, we're at your grandfather's funeral, like, have some respect. Like, that's some real stuff my dad would say. My dad is retired Navy, and he was like a cop for a while. So he's very serious, very straight, very rough. But so he was just like, calm down, like, stop acting stupid at your grandfather's funeral, whatever. And then my grandmother, she was sitting on my other side. Like, I was sitting in the middle with my son. My dad was on my left, my grandmother was on my right. And my grandma was crying, and I was like, Mama, like, that's what I call her. I couldn't say grandma when I was little, so I started saying Mama, and it just stuck. I still call her that to this day. I'm 25 years old. My sister's 23. We call her Mama. That's just what we call her. So she was crying, and she was like, Sage, please stop. Like, this is my husband's funeral. This is your grandfather. Just relax, like she would in real life. And so my grandfather was like, shh, no, nobody can hear me or see me but you, and that's the way I want to keep it. And that's so crazy to me. Like, I'm not about to go into detail, but when my grandfather passed in real life, he wasn't talking to my dad or my grandmother, but he was talking to me. So I was just like, this is crazy. So I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, what, I can't watch my own service? Haha. And he chuckled. Like, he had this really funny, like, infectious chuckle that he used to do. So he chuckled, and I was just like, what happened to you? He was like, what do you mean what happened to me? I died. Like a smart ass, like he was in real life. And I was like, I know that, but like, how did you die? And he ended up telling me basically I had a heart attack. So I'm telling you guys this because I feel like it's relevant. I feel like my grandfather came to me in a dream, and he basically told me how he died, because he knew that it had been bothering me and it had been heavy on my heart. Like, I knew he passed away, but I didn't know how. So yeah, he told me he had a heart attack. And it made sense, because basically my grandfather was in the house by himself, and my uncle was kind of like in and out of living in the house. And so we didn't hear from him for a couple days. And it's so crazy, because 2 days before my uncle found him, my grandpa called me and was like, hey, when am I going to get to see my great grandson again? And I was just like, I don't know, like, I've been busy, whatever. And I was like, I'll call you later, or I'll see if I can bring him by. And then 2 days later, he was dead. My uncle, who was his son, he finally went to go check on him, and he found him dead in the bathroom, hunched over the bathtub, butt naked. And it makes sense now that I think about it, because if you know anything about having a heart attack, they say when you have a heart attack, your chest gets really, really tight, and it can make you hot. So people who are having a heart attack tend to try to come out of their clothes. So I feel like he was having a heart attack, and he got hot, and he tried to come out of his clothes and make it in the shower to cool down, but he just never made it there. And it makes so much sense. So that kind of bothered me. My grandfather did end up getting cremated, but before he got cremated, we went to the morgue to like see his body for the last time. And just like seeing my grandfather lifeless was just like so surreal to me. Like, it was crazy. It's an image that still haunts me to this day. It's just not fun. Like, I work in healthcare, so I'm around death a lot. I've seen people deceased. It's just like something that you get used to after a while. I hate to say it, but you get numb to it. But it hits different when it's your own family member, someone that you knew and, you know, grew up with. Yeah, you love your parents, but with the grandparents, it's a different type of love. Like, my mom even told me being a grandma is better than being a mom. But yeah, so that kind of broke my heart. But I've come to peace with that. So that happened back in February. Now I want to say like it was after that, obviously. I'm going in order, but either in March or April, my great aunt passed away. And this one hit me hard because she actually had COVID. She had the coronavirus and she got sick and she died. But the hard thing about it was, like, I never really knew her growing up because I grew up in Georgia for the most part, and she was up here in Maryland. But before I went to the hospital, I started out at a nursing home. And the nursing home that I worked at, she actually ended up being a resident in the nursing home. So she lived in the nursing home and I used to take care of her. And so when I found out she was sick, it was just like, damn, like I can't even go visit her. I can't go check on her because I don't work there anymore and they're not allowing any visitors because of the virus. She died and I didn't get to go check on her. I didn't get to go see her, nothing. So that bothered me because it was like, damn, like this lady that I grew close with, that I grew to love and got to know, like one minute she was here and she was healthy and she was sassy, y'all. My great aunt she was a firecracker and she had a smart mouth on her and she was hilarious, but she was definitely feisty. And when I found out she died, I was just like, that's crazy. She was actually my great grandmother's sister. So she was, okay, my mom has a mom, right? That's my grandma. This woman was my grandma's aunt. So she was my grandma's mother's sister. So that makes her my great aunt. I think after that, like I said, I'm not gonna go into detail about too much because this is not about that. Like, it's not a story time. It's just kind of like, well, I guess it kind of is a story time, but it's like a timeline of what happened this year and why I've been kind of like down and not posting so much. But some stuff happened between me and my child's father that just like wasn't fun, and that kind of threw me off. But that happened, and then after that, one of my cousins on my dad's side, she passed away unexpectedly, and I don't even think she was 30. So that kind of like was crazy, and I felt so guilty because I never hung around her like that. I never hang around my dad's family. Like, y'all know how they say growing up you always have your favorite side of the family. Well, my favorite side of the family has always been like my mom's side. I don't know why, but I relate to them more. We hang out more, we laugh a lot. It's just a lot of fun with my mom's side of the family. Like, they party, they drink, they let loose. My dad's side of the family, they're fun too, but they're kind of like more serious, more conservative. They're just more serious, and they're very like religious. They're Catholics, so you know, Catholics are very like kind of conservative. That's the word. They're more conservative. My mom's side of the family, they're ratchet, they're hood, they're ghetto. They turn up, okay? And that's just fun for me. Like, I'm not a hood girl. I'm not ghetto. I didn't grow up like in the hood. I'm not from the hood. Like, I'm not a ratchet girl, but I like to have fun, and they always have a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun around them. But yeah, one of my dad's cousins, well, one of our cousins, she passed away out of nowhere. I think she passed away in her sleep, and she passed away. So my grandfather passed away, my great aunt passed away, and then my cousin passed away. So the crazy thing about my cousin on my dad's side that passed away is her mom was battling cancer for a long time. And I think she had it and she actually beat it. But when her daughter passed away, I don't know if y'all know this, again, healthcare. When you have cancer and you beat it and you get stressed out, it can actually bring your cancer back and it can be more aggressive. So I think her cancer came back and she ended up passing away. And I was just like, damn, like, that's hard. Like I said, I'm not really close with my dad's side of the family like that, but at the end of the day, they are still blood. So it just hits hard when like a family member dies, and then one of their immediate family members die not too long after. That was sad. That was crazy for me. So yeah, my grandfather on my dad's side passed away. So my dad's father, and then my great aunt passed away, and then my cousin passed away, and then her mom passed away, and then my great aunt, a couple months after her funeral, her daughter actually ended up passing away. And I was just like, I honestly think she died of a broken heart. So I want to talk about this too because this is relevant, but I'm not here to bash anyone. Let me make that very clear. But I got a new boss this year. back in like April, and she's nothing like the boss that I was used to. I feel like as long as you did your job, she was cool. It was like one time where she caught me on my phone, and she was like I was on my phone and my back was turned. So she was like, and I turned around and I was like, oh, hey, like, what's up? How's it going? Good morning. And she was like, you know you're not supposed to be on your phone on the floor, right? And I just looked at her and I was like, yeah, I'll put it away. And she was like, okay. And she walked away, and I'm just like, that's nothing. Like, she wasn't rude. She wasn't unnecessarily nasty. She wasn't always on my back. She wasn't a hoverer. And I can't stand a helicopter boss, but y'all, when I tell y'all my new boss stresses me out, she literally makes work during the weekdays so uncomfortable, so exhausting, so stressful for no reason. Like, the woman gives me anxiety. When I see her coming down the hallway and I see her coming left, I go right. When I see her coming to the right, I go left. If I hear her, because she wears these little heels and they click, 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 you can hear her coming from all the way down the hallway, I will run in a room and I will hide. And if she comes in the room, I'm busy. I'm helping a patient. Like, just any day that she's not there, like on the weekends, because in nursing, you're required to work every other weekend, or you have to work like 6 weekend shifts a month. On weekends, it is a breeze. I love it. I will pick up overtime on a weekend. I'll work every weekend if I have to, just because it's so calm, like it's peaceful. She's not there. Any weekday or any day that she's there, it's just like, I know it's gonna be stressful, but any day that I'm at work and she's not there, or she doesn't talk to me at all, is like a good day for me. She could walk right past me and not speak and I would not be mad. Me and this woman have had words a couple of times, because me, the type person I am, like, I don't tolerate disrespect very well, and I don't care who you are. I don't care what level of authority you have or you think you have. I don't care what your title is. I don't care what your position is. If I feel like I'm disrespected, I'm not going to handle that very well. And my thing is, respect is earned. It's not given. So you can't just walk into this position and think I'm going to kiss your butt, or I'm just going to respect you because of your title. No, not me. She's just mean, honestly. She's very mean. She's very dismissive. She's very heartless. She's inconsiderate. She's not compassionate. Like, oh, this woman, when I tell y'all, so many people have left the job because of her. And it's annoying because, like, ever since she got there, she's been saying, oh yeah, I'm working on hiring more staff. I'm working on hiring more staff. I'm working on hiring more staff. And we'll get more staff. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to be in a hospital instead of at a nursing home. Like, this is a different, atmosphere. This is a different vibe. I love it here. And then they come to me and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to be here very long, or I'm going to quit, or I'm leaving. And I'm like, why? Like, I thought you loved it. I do love it, but I don't love your boss. I can't work with your boss. She's too much. And I'm just like, damn, bro, like, people keep leaving because of her. And it's stressful because there have been times when I go into work and I'm the only one on the floor for 28, 29, 30 patients. And it's just like, bro, this isn't fair to the patients or to me. This is too much. But yeah, people keep leaving because of her. And I got so heated recently that I told her straight to her face. I said, I don't know if you feel like you can just talk to people and treat people any old kind of way because you have this title, or you think you have this level of authority, but you can't, and people keep leaving. I said, you always say that you're working on getting staff. You want to know why we don't have any staff? People keep leaving because of you. People don't want to work on this floor, on this unit, because of you. And I said just like that. I was like, people keep leaving because of you. Like, she's such a smart aleck. And like I said, I'm not trying to bash her. I'm just being honest. And like, I could see if it was just me that she got into it with, but like every single employee on our unit, every single employee on our floor, everyone she's ever had a conversation or an encounter with has a problem with her. It's not me, it's her, clearly. And she doesn't think that she's a problem. And every time she says the word disrespectful, I just want to gag, because she always has this thing, you're so disrespectful. Like, do you realize how disrespectful you are? How many times you've disrespected me? And I just sat there and said, okay, all right, yes, ma'am. I'm not about to do that forever. Or how many times you've disrespected other people. Like, y'all should hear how this woman talks to some of the employees on our floor that are old enough to be her mother. It's disgusting. Yeah, and then one day she had the nerve to tell me, I'm your elder. I'm probably old enough to be your mother. You should respect me. And I'm just like, I know your parents raised you better than that. I'm like, lady, don't bring my parents into this, because my parents taught me to respect people who respect me and not to kiss butt and to stand up for what I believe is wrong. And if I feel like someone is walking over me, I'm going to speak up for myself. That is what my parents taught me. So don't bring my parents into anything and don't play with me. But she just created such like a hostile work environment, and it's exhausting. And that's another thing that I've been dealing with. Like, I can go to work on a weekday and come home and just be so drained because this lady sucks the life out of me. So that's one reason why I haven't been so consistent as I should be. And I don't post as much because on my off days, I'm just tired. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to film. I don't want to post. I don't want to talk. I just don't want to be bothered. I just want to relax, because I know that in a day or two, I'm going to be preparing to go back to work with that lady. Yeah. And my mom, she says, oh, you just have to suck it up. Like, this is a job. You have a career. Anywhere you go, you're going to have to deal with a difficult boss. Y'all, I've had like 8 jobs since I was 19. I've had like 8 jobs. I'm 25. That's a lot of jobs in 7 years. 8 jobs. And I've never had a boss like this. I've never had a problem with any of my bosses like I have a problem with her, ever. My thing is, I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your title is. I don't care what your position is. I don't care how long you've been here. At the end of the day, we're both adults. So watch your tongue when you speak to me. Watch your tone. Watch your hand movements, because I can do all this too. And just watch the way that you treat me and you speak to me, because when I throw it back at you, the way that you speak to me and the way that you treat me, it's going to be a problem and you're not going to like it. But it's okay for you to do it. Like, you can't be in a position of authority and treat your employees like shit and think anyone is going to like you, respect you, or want to work with you. But yeah, my thing is, at the end of the day, we're both adults in a professional workplace. So treat it as such. But if you treat me like I'm a child and you talk to me like I'm stupid, I'm going to do the same thing to you. Period. But it's just like stressful. I don't go to work for bullshit. I don't go to work for the extra stuff. I don't go to work for unnecessary drama, and I don't go to work to be bullied. And I feel like she does that. So yeah, that's just draining and that's exhausting. And that's why I don't be wanting to post either, because I just be so tired on my days off. I just be focused on trying to be a mother and enjoy myself. But speaking of work, let me get into the next reason why I've been stressed and down and I don't really want to post. This is going to be a hard one for me to talk about, so I just had to take a couple shots. Like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm just sharing with you guys what I've been through this year and my experience, and opening up to you guys and letting you guys know what's been going on with me. And I feel like if this video can touch one person or reach one person who needs to hear it, or if it can help one person, then good. I'm happy with that. So I'm just gonna open up and I'm gonna share everything with you guys, and whatever happens, happens. I know y'all noticed this paper towel swinging around in my hand, but it's just in case I cry so I can pat. This year has been the hardest and the most painful year of my life. There are some things that happened between me and my son's father that I'm not happy about and I'm not proud of. And our relationship really suffered this year. Back in August, I made the decision to kind of like cut him off and stop dealing with him, because it got to a point where our relationship was just toxic and I felt like it wasn't good for either one of us. And I love him to death and I want to be with him more than anything. Like, I want my family, I want it to work out, but it just wasn't working. And for the both of us, I felt like it was best to let go. So I told him that. I said, you know, maybe we can try again in the future, but for right now, we both need to heal and we need to grow. We need to work on ourselves before we can be with each other or anyone, because until we heal and we fix ourselves, we're not going to be able to be in healthy, happy relationships. And I cut him off. And when I tell y'all that was the hardest thing I ever had to do, it hurt me so bad, but I knew it was right for both of us, because it just wasn't working. And I was tired. I was tired of being upset. I was tired of being sad. I was tired of hurting. I was tired of hurting him, because, you know, they say hurt people, and it's not on purpose, but like, when you're hurt, when somebody that you love so much just hurts you, you tend to hurt them back. Natural reaction. Like, it wasn't ever my intention to be like, yeah, I'm gonna hurt you, I'm gonna break your heart, but I feel like I did that just because I was hurt. And I started to hate the person I was becoming. So I just took a step back, and the last thing I was worried about was him or any man, period. I was just co-parenting. I was doing my own thing. I was working extra shifts at work, picking up overtime, focusing on my son, enjoying motherhood, taking vacation. So back in August, I took a vow that I was gonna take a vacation every month for the rest of the year because I canceled 2 trips because of COVID. We were supposed to go to Florida in June or July. We were supposed to go to Orlando, and my grandma has a timeshare out there. So we were gonna have our own villa, me, him, and the baby. I mean, I was gonna get a rental car, and all 3 of our flights round trip for a week, we were gonna go out there. And the whole trip came up to less than like $600, and I had to cancel it because of COVID. And then in September for my son's birthday, I wanted to take him to Great Wolf Lodge for like the weekend. Couldn't do it, it was shut down because of COVID. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop living in fear. Living in fear is no way to live at all. Like, you have to live your life. You can just be careful, be safe, you know, distance yourself and enjoy life. So that's what I did. In August, my son and I went to Atlantic City. In September, we took 2 trips. We went to Williamsburg with one of my friends and her sons. And then like a week later, we rode out to Norfolk to be with my mom because she travel nurses sometimes. So she was in Norfolk. October, I actually didn't take a trip because there was a lot going on. It's my birthday month, and my son's birthday had just passed. My son's birthday we're not even a month apart, like birthday wise. Years, yes, we're like years apart, but like his birthday is September 27th and my birthday is October 20th. So it's like his birthday, 2-3 weeks later, my birthday. And then plus we took 2 trips in September. So it was like, okay, October we can skip a trip. So November, we actually went to Shenandoah Valley or Massanutten in Virginia in the mountains, and it was awesome. It was beautiful. And then December, we went to Petersburg. The beginning of this month, we went to Petersburg to go be with my friend and her baby because her husband, like, he's in the military. She just got married. Congrats to her. But her husband's in the military and he was away, and she gets bored and she gets lonely, and I was bored and I was lonely. So I just went to Petersburg to be with my best friend and her son, and I took my son. So it was like a mommy son time. But anyways, back to the point. Back in like the middle of August, I cut my son's father off because I felt like it wasn't healthy for either of us. And it's so crazy because, like, you know, I'm gonna leave it to the imagination what happened between us before I cut him off. We have a child together. It had been 6 years since, you know, we started doing with each other. I got with him when I was 18 years old. Like, he was my first real boyfriend. The first time I was ever in love was with him. He's like the only thing I knew. But I cut him off in August, and what happened. And in September, I found out that I was pregnant, like early September. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Because I literally just cut you off and I started to move on with life. Like, I was happy. I wasn't worried about no dude, like I said, including him. I was starting to work out again. I was starting to eat right. I was working overtime, going on trips, enjoying being a mother, like spending more time with my friends, going on lunch dates, getting my hair done more often, getting pedicures, like just getting back to myself. I started vlogging more and singing more and writing more, and I was like planning on going to the studio, and I was just getting back to being happy without him, because like I didn't know how to be without him for a long time, because like I said, he's all that I knew. I was with him since I was 18 years old. I found out I was pregnant, and literally like a week later, I had a miscarriage at work. That's why I was tying work into all this. I had a miscarriage at work in the employee bathroom by myself. And that really broke me, because it was like, damn, like, no, we weren't together. Maybe we weren't ready for another baby, but nobody wants to lose their child like that. That shit is hard. I was accepting the fact that I was gonna be a mommy again. And even though I was scared because we weren't together, we weren't on good terms, I was excited. Like, everybody who knows me knows that I love kids, and they know that I want more kids. I want Jaden to have siblings. I want him to have best friends for life. I want him to grow up with, I want 4 kids, y'all, total. No more than 4, but at least 2. But like, it was just hard. And like, even though we weren't together, like I said, at least my kids would have had the same father. They would have, you know, but it was 3 things that really messed me up. One is the fact that I was at work. So I had to like be cool and act like nothing really happened, because I'm not the type of person that likes people in my business, especially when it's personal and it's painful like that. I didn't want to freak out and be like, oh my God. And people were like, what's wrong with you? Because nobody at my job knew that I was pregnant. Nobody knew. And I was going to keep it to myself until I passed the 3-month mark. Because if you've ever been pregnant or if you know anything about pregnancy, you're not really in the safe zone until you pass 12 weeks. 12 weeks is when things are to most likely go wrong, where you're most likely to have a miscarriage or whatever. But after 3 months, you're pretty much in the clear. Like, your baby will more than likely be fine. Not always, but yeah, so I didn't tell anybody. But yeah, I was at work and that fucked me up because I had to act like everything was fine, for one. For two, I had to flush the baby. And that, like, when it happened, I was just like, what the hell? Because I was bleeding the night before and I was cramping a little bit. But my mom, she told me, like, I bled my whole pregnancy with your sister and she's here, she's fine. So I wouldn't think anything of it unless you start like clotting. And it was never clot. She was like, sometimes your body needs time to adjust to being pregnant. And it needs to go like, oh shoot, I'm pregnant. Let me stop having a period. And some people just have their period their whole pregnancy. So I was like, okay, no big deal. So I went into the bathroom because I wasn't feeling good the night before. Like I said, I was bleeding. I started bleeding the night before. And so I went to work and I wasn't feeling good. Like, I was kind of feeling weak and my stomach was hurting. Like, I was having cramps and I was just like, oh, it's nothing. Like, maybe my body just needs time to adjust, because I wasn't clotting. Like, it wasn't clots coming out. So then I was rounding on my patients and I was taking vitals and I felt weird. So I was like, let me just go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, right? And when I wiped, it was like nothing there. And I'm sorry if this is TMI, y'all, but I'm just telling y'all my experience. I wiped and there was nothing there. So I was like, okay, I must be good. So then, you know how you guys will sit down to use the bathroom and then you go stand up to pull your pants up? When I stood up, y'all, when I stood up, I literally felt like a deep rolling pain and a cramp. And out loud, I said, oh my God, no, 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 no. And it just came out. It just fell out. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I know that this didn't just happen. I know that I didn't just fucking lose my baby at work, bro. And I looked in the toilet and I saw 2 little clots. And I don't know if I was just out of it or if I was being dumb. But like, I thought that, I was like, was I having twins? And then I thought about it later on because I have a son. Like, I've been through being pregnant and giving birth before. And I was like, oh my God, that was my baby and the placenta attached. But like, I was at work, so I had to act like everything was fine. And it wasn't. And then, like I said, I had to flush it. Like, y'all, if I was at home, I would have scooped that little baby out the toilet and I would have rinsed it off and I would have buried it. But I had to flush my dead baby, and that just really broke my heart. Like, it was hard. So the fact that I was at work bothered me, and then I was alone. I didn't have no one there to comfort me or tell me, you know, I'm sorry this happened to you, but you're gonna be okay. Nothing like that. And then for 3, I saw it. Like, who wants to look down at work on the clock and see their freaking dead baby floating in the toilet? It just sucked. It really, really sucked. It was hard. I didn't tell anybody about it. Like, this is the first time that I'm talking about it publicly. Of course, I told my son's father, and I told my mom, and I told my sister, but no one really knew I was pregnant. I didn't even tell my grandma, any of my grandparents, any of my 3 remaining grandparents. I didn't tell them. I didn't tell my dad. I didn't tell my godparents. And I'm glad that I didn't tell a lot of people I was pregnant, because imagine if I had told a bunch of people, like my dad, my grandmother, my godparents, that I was pregnant, and then a week later I had to tell them that I wasn't pregnant anymore. And like, even though I was at work, I feel like that was a blessing in disguise, because if I had been at home with my mom or at my son's father's house, when it happened, I would have immediately called them and been like, look in the toilet. And I would have like And I know my mom would have lost it. She would have broke down. She would have cried. She would have been upset. And my son's father probably would have known how to handle it and handle me, because I needed someone to be my strength at that moment. And like, my son's father has been through a lot. And like I said, like, I try to be strong, but I can't be strong all the time. And the same thing goes for him. He tries to be strong, y'all. He is very strong, but like, you can't be strong all the time. And it's hard when you have to carry your own weight and then someone else's as well. So like, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise that I was alone, because God forbid my mom or Jaden's dad or my sister would have been around for that or seen that. It just would have been heartbreaking. But yeah, that happened September 23rd, 4 days before my son's second birthday. So I'm celebrating a birth that happened with me. I gave birth to my son September 27th, 2018. So imagine that. Can you imagine? I'm celebrating a birth and at the same time grieving a loss. And I knew out of everything in this video that was gonna be hard to share, but I feel like I needed to, because I just needed to let it out. I need to heal from it. It still hurts me. It's December. It's been 3 months since it happened, and I don't know if I'll ever get over it. I have flashbacks all the time. Actually, I was off work for like 3 or 4 days after that happened, because my doctor was like, you just need to rest. Like, technically you did give birth, and after you give birth, you're supposed to take 2 days to like rest and recover. But like, he told me I needed to take 2 days off and just rest. So I took off work, and when I went back to work, I was stupid and I wasn't thinking, and I was doing vitals. It was a busy day, so I didn't get a chance to like use the bathroom all day. So when I finally ran to the bathroom, I was like, oh, I gotta go. And I ran to the employee bathroom, and I walked in there and I looked, and I started hyperventilating, and I had a panic attack because I had a flashback of my dead baby in the toilet. And it was like, note to self, don't use the employee bathroom for a while. So yeah, and then my boss, being who she is, when it happened, I was freaking out, and I was like, I don't want to go into shock. I don't want to bleed too much. I don't want none of that. So I told the charge nurse for the day, like, hey, I think I just had a miscarriage in the bathroom and I need to go to the ER, because I don't want, you know, anything to happen to me. And thank God the charge nurse was a female who has kids, so she got it. I don't think my boss has any kids, but I was like, do I need to talk to blah, blah, blah? I'm not gonna say her name. Do I need to talk to blah, 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 my boss? And she was like, no, just go to the ER. Like, I'll tell her that you had an emergency and you had to go downstairs. I won't share your personal business with anybody, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, thank you so much. When I came back to work, this witch gonna ask me, maybe I am bashing her at this point, because I said I'm not here to bash anybody, but you know what? This is my channel. This is my platform. I can say and do and post what I want on my channel. And I don't believe you can get fired for using your First Amendment right, which is freedom of speech. So anyways, this lady sat me down in her office and gonna ask me, oh, you left at 10 o'clock in the morning when your shift had just started at 7 and you didn't get off till 7:30. Why did you leave? So I told her, I was like, I had a miscarriage in the employee bathroom and I had to go to the ER. Before I could even finish my sentence, she was like, hold on, pause. And she cut me off, and I'm just like, lady, like, you're so freaking, oh. It was no, are you okay? I'm sorry that happened to you. My condolences, none of that. Just like, she basically asked me for proof that it happened. Well, do you have a doctor's note? Do you have documentation? And I'm just like, bitch, I lost my fucking baby in the employee bathroom and had to go to the ER. I am traumatized, and you're asking me, am I lying about it? And then, like I said, I don't want to say too much, but a family member on my mom's side actually has cancer now. And we don't know what kind of cancer it is, what stage it is, how aggressive it is, or anything. But they don't know that we know. And the only reason we know is because my mom's a nurse, and she went over this person's house and she saw the chemotherapy pills that they're taking for their treatment, because chemotherapy and radiation can make you very, very sick. So sometimes a doctor will prescribe you pills that you take to help cope with the side effects and so that you don't get too sick. So my mom, being the nurse And the nosy person that she is, my mom is nosy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. She's nosy, even with me. She'll be like, what's that? What'd you get in the mail? Where'd you get that from? How much was it? And I'm just like, but she went over this person's house one day and she saw the pills on the table and she was like, what is this? This name sounds familiar. So she Googled it and it said that it was a chemotherapy pill. So between, you know, my grandfather passing away, my cousin passing away, her mother passing away, my aunt passing away, her daughter passing away, having a miscarriage, having a boss that stresses me the hell out, going through stuff with the person that I love so much and that I want to be with more than anything, etc., etc. No, I'm not really in the mood to post all the time. I'm not really in the mood to film. I don't want to sing all the time. I don't want to play the piano. I don't want to post YouTube videos. Like, I'm just not for it. I just don't feel like it sometimes. Sometimes I just want to relax. I want to try to de-stress. I feel like I need to heal and get over the things that have hurt me this year and all the hard things that I've been through. And I need to be okay before I can really get back to being myself and posting and singing and writing and going to the studio and dancing and acting and playing the piano and all that other stuff that I love to do. And it's hard for me because for some people, when they're hurt, it's easier for them to channel what they love to do and they express themselves through the pain. But for me, I work better when I'm happy. And y'all, in case you couldn't tell right now, I'm not completely happy. This year has been far from easy for me, but I am finding myself again and I'm taking my life back because I feel like I deserve that. I shouldn't have to sit around and be sad and depressed and dwell over things that have happened that are out of my control. So that being said, from now on, I'm going to focus on me, as hard as it might be, because I know it's gonna help me heal and help me be happy, and I need to heal and I need to be happy. If not for myself, then for my son, I need to do this. I need to recover. I need to be okay. And right now, like, I'm all right, but I'm not okay, if that makes sense. So from now on, I'm gonna start filming more and posting more YouTube videos. I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm gonna get more into rapping. Like, I don't take it too seriously. I just kind of do it for fun. But I realize that, like, I'm not horrible at it, so I should probably do that more often. I'm gonna start singing more, start writing more, going to the studio, you know, dancing more, playing the piano. I want to get back into acting. I want to start doing everything that I love to do and all the things that make me happy, and start getting back to myself and doing the things that I love so much and that I'm passionate about and that make me me. Because like I said, I feel like I lost a lot of myself throughout the past 6 years between, you know, being in a relationship, trying to be this perfect girlfriend, wanting to be a wife, and then 2 years ago becoming a mother and trying to be a mother and a daughter and a sister and a friend and a niece and a cousin. And like, I just want to be Sage, you know? I just want to be Sage and Andrea. I want to be me. I don't want to worry about anybody else but my son, really. So yeah, I'm going to start putting me first. I'm going to heal from all the things that I've been through and everything that I talked about, everything that's been bothering me. I'm going to be more consistent because even though I have been down, I realize that when I do push myself, it gives me something to do. It takes my mind off of all the pain, you know, that I've been feeling, everything that I've gone through this year. It makes me happy. So I need to be more consistent. I need to do the things that I love and that make me happy. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm gonna post more. I'm gonna get back into singing. I'm gonna start going to the studio. I just might have an EP for you guys. Also, if you are interested in my music, then you guys can follow my music page. I'll put it right here somewhere on Instagram. Follow that. And yeah, a lot more things coming from Mommy Sage and Andrea in 2021. Like I said, this year has been rough for, I feel like, everyone, but it's no way that next year can be harder than this year. No way. Sometimes they say you have to hit rock bottom before you can go up. And I feel like I'm going up. I want to go up in my career. I want to go up in my music. I want to go up in YouTube. I want to go up in being a mother. Like, I want to be the best mother I can be, which I already know I'm a great mother, but it's hard to be like a great mother when you're sad. So I'm just gonna work on me and work on healing before anything. So yeah, I know this was a lot different from my normal vlog with me style, or the challenge videos, or the get ready with me videos, or the fashion hauls and etc. But I hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed getting to know me on a more intimate level, me opening up. I don't do this very often, and I'll tell you why. I have had people laugh at my pain, which hurt even more. I have had people call me crazy when I'm not crazy, I'm really just hurt. And I have had people tell me that I need help when I really just needed healing. So for me to open up like this and talk about everything that's been hurting me so bad and bothering me is a big step. But like I said, if this video reaches one person or it helps one person, somebody that needs to hear this, then I'm okay with that. Because like, I know people deal with death every day. People, like women out here, have dealt with miscarriages, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone or they don't have anyone to talk to. Like, if any of you guys ever need anyone to talk to, just DM me on Instagram. You can message me on here. I will respond. I'm here for you guys. Just like I want you guys to be here for me. I don't ever want to feel alone or feel so small again in my life, because like, I just felt so small. But I want to be here for you guys. This page is supposed to be a page of positivity, happiness, support, all that. If this video helps one woman with healing, I'll be happy. But you are not alone. Women go through miscarriages every day, and it's hard, it hurts, it's sad, but we gotta stick together. So I don't want to do my normal outro because I feel like I shouldn't say, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Like, it's not really too much to like about it. It's very sad, but it is personal. So yeah, thank you guys for listening and for joining in. I hope nobody cried with me. If you did, I'm sorry, and I hope I didn't ruin your makeup. But I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care, be safe. This coronavirus is nothing to play with. Stay warm if you're anywhere cold. I live in Southern Maryland, so it gets cold here. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you all. Bye.